regular polygon inside a circle, an equilateral triangle. What I've got here so far is a circle with basically what I've done on the circle is created a chord, which I've just taken out a chord across there and then bisected that chord to divide the circle in half, and using these points on the circumference of the circle I've bisected it again to divide the circle horizontally in half, and this allows me to locate the center of the circle using the perpendicular bisector. So once I find the center of the circle, what we need to do is to draw an equilateral triangle, which I'll take you through. There's two particular methods to do this, but what I'll do is show you what the end result is first, and then we'll go through how to apply these methods. So the first one of the methods is this, whereby you draw 3 circles outside, touching each other like so, and we connect the center of each circle, giving our equilateral triangle, and draw a circle around that equilateral triangle. So we have an inscribed equilateral triangle within our circle. That's one method, but that I'll cover later. The easier method is this one, where given a circle, what we do is we find the center of the circle and we mark points on the circumference of the circle, 3 points, which are there, giving our inner equilateral triangle an inscribed equilateral triangle within our circle. I'll take you through this method, but you can see what I've got here is a petals of a flower. You've probably done this within a circle before, where I have 3 petals of a flower defined within our circle, and each petal is connected at the tip of the petal to give our equilateral triangle. What I'm going to do is slightly different, but using the same approach. I'm not going to draw the entire petal, but I will draw and mark points on the circumference of the circle, 3 points, using the same principle. So let's start. Now, once I've got my center of the circle, I need to adjust my compass and put this to find the radius of the circle. So I'm going to put that there. At the moment it's resting on my circle there. Once we've got our radius of a circle, we move our compass onto one of the points on the circumference of the circle. Just place the compass there. What I'm going to do is mark 2 points on the circumference using our compass. So let's mark 1 point up here. Now if I were to draw the full petal, it would go around through the center of the circle and to the other side up here. So I need to mark another point here. Now the neat thing here to do is basically move our compass such that the pen stays fixed on that point, one of the points that we've marked, and then we simply will do first is put a compass point there and rotate the pen onto our circle circumference. Now if we can switch that and move the pen onto that point such that the compass is resting on that circumference point there. Now what we need to do is mark a point here again, so we got cross on that circumference point, then spin our compass using the same point onto the other side and mark a point here. So we've so far marked one point with a cross. We need to mark the other 2 points with a cross such that they're equal distance apart from each other. Again, we need to move the compass such that the point of the compass is resting on there, and we know where you can literally mark that point there, so you can easily shift the compass directly where you want it. But what I'm trying to do is not do that. You can if you want to. So simply, if I were to mark a point there, a little point there, so I can move my compass onto that point with ease, just as a guide reference to where my compass should be, and then spin the compass round and see if it crosses both these points. Yeah, we have a rough cross there and another cross there, which is slightly off on this drawing, but on your drawing it should be slightly more accurate. They should cross, but I believe I've moved my compass around slightly, so but I'm going to mark it anyway nevertheless, and spin the compass round. If you move your compass, what will happen is you'll get one point which is slightly marked off, but what you still should get is 3 points with crosses on. Once you've got your 3 points, you can get rid of your compass because you don't need it anymore, and what we do is get a tool that will allow us to draw straight lines and give our triangle. Spin that tool around. I'm going to place it on the marked point and use a different color pen, this time green. Mark that point so it looks like a chord. I've gone outside of the circumference slightly just to exaggerate the point slightly more. What I'm going to do, I'm going to compensate for the slight error that I've got there, and draw a line which I think should be where it should be, from this point to that point, using the same green pen there. And now spin that around. Again, what I've done is I haven't measured anything to draw this equilateral triangle, as you already know, and I haven't made any mathematical calculations whatsoever, just to draw this circle and inscribe regular polygon within a circle. Let's get that to up there, spin it slightly. I think it's snapping to grid, so it's quite difficult to. There we go. And our final point on that, what we have, if I remove the protractor, set square, what we have is our equilateral triangle inscribed within the bounds of the circle. If I just hide certain lines, define our center of the circle. There we go. And we're able to see an inscribed regular triangle within our circle. That's one approach. Again, it was the preferred approach, which is the petals and combining the 3 points of the petals. But the second approach is, again, it's quite good, but it's up to you how you would want to do it. The first approach is basically we have a circle pre-drawn already. We don't know the size of the circle. We find the center of the circle and then inscribe a regular polygon within it. In this case, it was an equilateral triangle. So let's try the second approach. This is slightly more involved, and I'm just going to start a new page for that. What I'm going to do is get myself a protractor, pick it up, and with a default green pen, I'm going to set my compass to length of 58. Now it's up to you how you want to do this, but there are many approaches. The simplest one would be to get my set square back out there. I'm going to try and move it so that I've sort of got it near the bottom of the screen. I'm going to draw certain lines, straight horizontal line bottom, and rotate my set square such that the line is parallel to the bottom line that I've drawn. Just let's put that back where it was. Back where it was. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to draw a vertical line from here. You'll see the benefits of doing this later on. I'm going to move my set square off. Now we have a vertical line that's perpendicular to our horizontal line, which means it's at right angles to the horizontal line. Now, first of all, I've set my compass to 58. You can set it to whatever you want, 60, 100, whatever. But the first point, I'm putting the compass of the point such that the pen distance ends up where the two lines cross, directly there, which means when I draw my circle, that's where my horizontal two circles will touch each other. Let's draw our first circle, and I'm going to flip the pen across. Just flip that across there. I'm about to draw my second circle. I have two circles on that same line. Now the third circle above it is slightly more tricky, but the way to handle this is basically to find the center of this circle, these two circles. Now to do that, we need another protractor. I'm keeping that at 58, so I don't need to change that one. And once I get my new protractor, what I need to do is put it on one point there. First of all, and drag that point out such that it's the full diameter of that circle. Now, with my compass, there might be a bit of discrepancy in getting the third circle just as accurate as it's snapping to grid on here. So once I've got my diameter, what I need to do is set at 113, 120, it should be 116, I believe. Is it possible to set that? No. This is the issue. So it's jumping between 113 and 118. I need it to be 116. I'm trying to like edit that, but I simply can't. Without that, influence properties. No way of editing the compass setting. I need it to literally end up at 116. Due to that discrepancy, my third circle might be slightly off, but I've got a rough diameter of what it should be. But if you get a precise diameter, it will be a lot better. I'm going to just move that compass slightly off for the time being. Get myself a third compass. Now, this is to bisect the line. A line here, such that what we'll get is just going to mark a small point there. We'll get the center of the circle. Now, the way to do this is you extend the compass slightly more than the radius of the circle. If you keep it under, you will not bisect that line properly. Once you've done that, mark the points, put it on the center where the two vertical lines cross. Mark a point on this circle as well. Beauty of this is it'll be slightly more accurate. And mark another point this side where the two lines should roughly cross. Here I'm trying to find the center of the two circles that we've got here, and I'll place my compass again. Mark another point there. Once I've done that, get rid of that compass. Oh, actually, I'll keep that compass. This side, I need it later on for the final circle, but I doubt that. Let's get rid of it. If I need it, I'll bring it back. Now, the other one that we defined as should be 116 on there, but it may be slightly off. Before we do that, let's draw a vertical line between these 2 points. place this protractor so that the set square so that goes through the center. What I've done here is draw the line slightly above the circle there, and I'm about to do the same across here. Slightly, it's a bit more fiddly on this. Move my set square off. I've drawn them slightly on purpose to that point. Now, once I've found the center of my two circles, put my compass there. You can see the diameter of the two circles there. Now, to mark the third point, to draw a triangle, equilateral triangle, what we do is mark it there, which means a center of a third circle will exist at some point there. Now, move that compass again onto the center of the other circle, our second circle, which is there, and mark our third point, another point there. Again, due to the fact that my compass setting isn't all that perfect, but we know roughly where our center of our final circle should be, and we take our compass there and place it with our radius setting and see how this fares with the, and draw our final circle. Let's just draw it in. It's slightly off because of the way where I've placed my compass, but these lines here should be touching, and these lines should be touching. I'm going to try slightly cheat here and try and get my final circle to touch just by simply moving it slightly. But that is basically what we have. Now, the center of the three circles gives us that equilateral triangle. Now, to do this, what I'm going to do is get my set square and move it into place to join the three center of our circles. Three centers together. There we go. I'm just going to choose a different colored pen for this, and I'm going to choose a blue pen. That's one of our first lines. Rotate it around. It's taking quite a bit of. There we go. Final line. Slightly extend that line. There we go. And final horizontal line to make sure getting that right as well. Just go over that black line that we have horizontally. And we have our equilateral triangle here. But if you were to draw this, it would be a lot more accurate on a piece of paper. I'm using software to do this, and it's quite difficult to pinpoint the points where we need to put our compass. What I've got here is our equilateral triangle. Now, to place the circle around this equilateral triangle is quite intuitive in itself. What we need to do first of all is bisect each one of these edges of the equilateral triangle so that we can get a center point, which would be somewhere in the middle up here. And then once we got a center point, we place our compass into the center and draw a circle around that equilateral triangle. I'm not going to do that for you, but I'll let you have a go at it and the finished product should look something along these lines. What I've done here is got 3 circles, there we go, and our equilateral triangle sitting directly in the middle, and of that inscribed black circle. The equilateral triangle is inscribed within the black circle here. That's what we've got. And they're the 2 methods that we can use to draw an inscribed regular polygon within a circle. Okay, thank you.